So in the second video, so let's try and extend our spreadsheet model. So at the end of the first, I'll put the number back to 200. That was our original numbers. At the end of the first month, we've got 1810. Now let's introduce this idea of an absolute reference and a relative reference. We're going to subtract the same repayment at the end of every month. So what you can do is you go to the corner and you get a little crosshair and you drag this down, and it doesn't work the way I want. What I actually want is 200 everywhere. And what's happening here is this cell here, if you come up here, it's taking the value actually. Can I turn on the formulas? Where is it? Right, there's a setting. Just give me a second to find. Okay, I found the setting I want. You go to formulas and there's an option called show formulas. So this view, it's showing the actual calculations, and you click show formulas. So what's actually happened here, the first line's fine, it's using D6, but the next line, when you drag down like this, it's going to keep the same, it's going to generate a relative reference for the next cell. So the first one's D6. So because we're moving down, it's just going to change the number. So the next one will be D7, next one will be D8. You can see the highlight over here. It's actually taking the word interest. Then D9. So it started at the cell D6 where we had our payment, and then it keeps counting down. That's not what we want. What we actually want is an absolute reference. So let me show you how to do this. You come in here and you type $sign before the D and $sign before the 6. And now what happens is when I drag this down, you'll see it is putting the same cell reference in each of the following cells, D6. So when we go back to view, you can see it's all $200. So that's a use of an absolute cell reference. That's what we wanted. Now on the other hand, okay, so that's a cell reference. Now another cute little trick is I want to count up in 1 here. So if you drag the 1 here, you'll see you just get 1 in every cell. That's not exactly what I wanted. I wanted 1, 2, 3. So to get 1, 2, 3, what you need to do is you select 2 cells, 0, 1. So now Excel knows you want to count up in 1s, and what we'll find is when I drag down, it'll count up. So you see that's counted up to 10. And in fact, we could just keep doing this. So I'll go to a few more, and there you have it. Okay, so that's how you get a series of numbers very quickly. Now the final, we're pretty close to being finished. Interest is going to be D5. Now again, we've got a problem here. I'll drag this one down. Some crazy numbers there. So let's have investigate. And let me just move this back up. So the first one's correct. We want a D5 times by G9, which was the original amount owing, the $2,000. The next line, what we wanted is we didn't want D6. See D6 there is the actual payment. We still want to use D5. Okay, so I could do it like this, D5, and again, now the G10's fine. The G10 is actually the balance at the end here. So let's have a look. So study this carefully. So this is correct. The interest is 905. Now drag this formula down, and that 905 will be added to the previous value of 1810. So that's correct. Then we're going to subtract 200. Drag this formula down, and you'll see this formula will be correct. So Excel will automatically, when you drag down here, it'll keep the same formula, but just update it for the cells for the second row. I don't know if I made that clear, but have a look at that. That works. So what we need to do here, again, we need a absolute reference. So go to formulas and go into this one, and the D5, which is the interest. Let's put $signs around the D and the 5. Actually, I think you only need it on the 5, but anyway, I won't get into that. and you drag down, and what you should see now is all of these formulas are using the same interest rate, D5, D5. And every time, the other ones are using relative, which is correct, because this the interest should be worked out on the balance at the end, or the amount owing at the end of the previous month. Okay, let's turn the formulas off, and we're now pretty much done. I can drag these down and drag this down, and what we'll get, and it will be calculating correctly. You can see the interest, so I'll fix up the interest a bit, just the formatting, and we're pretty much done. I'll put that as dollars, use the dollar format. This is dollars as well. We want to round to 2 decimal places. And we can do this one as well if we want, dollars. And drag that down. Now, a really quick way, once you've actually established this correctly, you can actually just select a whole row like this and drag it down. So I'll go down to 14. And eventually what you see here, we eventually end up for negative there. So we would have repaid the loan by the 11th month. We owed 28 cents, about $56 something. Our repayment is $200, so it's more than we needed to pay it off, and you end up for negative 143. So basically, you've covered your loan. If I change my repayment to a smaller amount, let's say $100, you see after 14 months we still haven't paid it off. Okay, so that's the basics of creating a model. So try and apply some of those skills in your assignment. In terms of using borders, I'll just select my table. You can come up here and there's different borders. I'll just go all the outside borders. We can change the width of the cell, so each value we can clearly read it. That's most things. If you want to, we can change the alignment to center. There's a center option. Might go center. There it is. And there's a model. And you just got to make the format. Now you just got to figure out how to highlight to make it clear how the user of your model can clearly work out what is the best option. Okay, I'll leave you to figure that part out.